It's Tuesday, it's freezing cold, it's just about to get dark, but we've got a 10k to run. This is why I love coming up here. Some fantastic views. Anyway, we look forward. Oh, I ended up having to walk. Oh, I've been up here a few times. And the hill's not massive. Oh, I can't catch a breath. I don't know if it's just it's cold, or I'm not eating properly, or I'm just making excuses. Even when I'm walking, I think it flattens out a little bit up here. So we'll get back running then. That was okay. Should have taken my head torch. Forgetting the head torch was a mistake. That was all good. Had to walk a little section, which I've not had to do before. But the pace was alright overall. I'm happy with that. Perfect. Hello and welcome back to The Inner Race. We are 8 weeks into our training session now, and I just wanted to share with you once again my reflections from the last 2 weeks of training. I've actually had a really good 2 weeks, but I wanted to share with you one little session that I had earlier this week where I was doing a run that I've done loads of times before. It's only about 5 miles, but partway through it there's a little bit of an incline and I found myself having to walk, and I've never done that before. It was only when I got back that I actually reflected on it, and I realised that a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months most, that would have really messed with me. I might have even had to have got picked up and gone. It could have affected my training further on in the week, maybe drop the mileage or whatnot. Because I had a belief previously that if you walked, then you'd failed or you weren't fit enough to do the walk. And it's these beliefs that I actually want to look at a little bit, dig a bit deeper into during this episode. Once again, we're going to look at this through the lens of the Chimp model. In the Chimp model, we call these unhelpful beliefs gremlins. Gremlins, more often than not, come from the chimp. Some examples of them might be, for example, if I walk, I've failed my plan. Or even worse, if I walk, I'm a failure. It could be long runs are always difficult. If it's raining, it's not worth going out. If I'm not fast enough, others might mock me, or others will mock me. As you can tell, when you start to say them out loud, they come across as really quite irrational or catastrophic with no perspective. And that is because they usually have come from the chimp. So let's take a step back and look at these beliefs and how they work as part of the whole system. And to do that, I've got to introduce you to a third part of the model. So we've looked at the human and the chimp, but there's also quite a big support area that we call the computer. Now, the computer is significantly faster than the chimp, and it's actually how we can learn to manage the chimp and the emotions that it gives us. But it's also where our beliefs are stored, and that's where we have these gremlins stored. Now, the computer isn't just there for storing gremlins. There's a whole host of other stuff it does, and we are going to focus a bit more detailed on that in future episodes. But for now, we're just going to focus on those gremlins and trying to find them. Now, it can be hard to figure out what gremlins and what beliefs are there. I know that sounds a bit odd sometimes, but here's some tips for trying to find some. Keep an eye out for when you're getting any of this sort of like emotional friction going on. Are there any particular situations where you're regularly feeling anxiety, you're feeling down, it might be that you've not done something, or you're feeling like a lack of motivation can be it too. Because there's usually going to be some sort of gremlin that's underpinning those emotions. And then just sort of listen to what your inner voice is saying. See if you can vocalize those beliefs that are going on in your head, however irrational they may sound. And keep an eye out for absolutes. I should be running faster by now. Long runs are always difficult. I should never run in the rain. Stuff like that to try and locate what these beliefs are. Now, there's a few tools that we can use through the lens of the Chimp model to remove these gremlins, but it's a whole episode in itself. So what we're going to do is next episode, we'll have a look at that, how we can start to remove these gremlins from the computer and replace them with more helpful beliefs. For now, though, what I want to encourage you all to do, either during your runs or in reflection after them, is try and identify some of the gremlins that you might have. And it can be hard to do, but if you just do a bit of work on it and try and identify those, and then, like I say, in the next episode, we'll have a look at what we can do to get rid of them. So if you want to share them below, that's fantastic. I appreciate it is quite a vulnerability to do so, so don't feel any pressure. But I hope all your training goes well, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.